What's up, guys? I'm here making a video about my 1982 Toyota Celica ST. Um, my my Celica came with a stock 22R and the W58 transmission, and the rear end is I want to say it's the 6.4 or 6.7 rear end, open diff. But yeah, what I want to talk about today is the gauge cluster. Now, normally the 82, as far as I've seen, they don't come with, or the 82 with the 22R, they don't come with the 130 mile an hour gauge cluster. They come with a 0 to 85 gauge cluster. And what I went ahead and did, I went ahead and swapped out my original gauge cluster with 83 Celica GT gauge cluster. And the benefits are having a voltage meter, having the oil pressure, the digital clock, and then also the 0 to 130. It's pretty straightforward. If you know how to remove the gauge cluster on your own, it's pretty straightforward removal, and it's not too hard. But there's a couple bolts here underneath, and then on the other side, the same thing, 2 bolts. Then you got to remove this bottom panel to get underneath to release the speedometer cable, and then you can pretty much pull everything out. But I don't really see a lot of videos about the Celicas, at least the 3rd gens. There's not too many videos out there in general about the Celicas, but I've had my Celica about 4 years, and I pretty much fell in love with this car. When I was a kid, my uncle used to have one, and I used to, really enjoy being in the back seat and him, taking off all fast, and even though it's pretty slow, but back then it felt like pretty quick to me. And when I saw this car, I went ahead and bought it. I kind of already knew what I wanted to do with it and try to figure out all the things that I could do to it. So yeah, this video is just pretty much talking about the gauge cluster and how to do it, and the stuff that you need. So like I said, 83 Celica GT gauge cluster. I'm pretty sure any gauge cluster from 82 to 85 will work. Anything else I don't think will. I know there's like a digital one, but I've never tested that out before, and I kind of like the analog type gauge cluster anyways. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer them to the best that I can. I don't know a lot of the answers to everything on this car. Like I said, I've only had it 4 years, but I've tried to do a lot of studying and research about certain things, and there's a lot of people out there that are very helpful, and helping me figure out a lot of troubleshooting issues. So yeah, if you guys have any questions on stuff that I've done, just go ahead and leave me a comment, and I'll try to get back to you.